All right, so just some pointers as you're approaching doing pencil and charcoal. We're going to start off with the pencil. So if I am looking to create different values, and I have these different pencil types, then I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of using them. So ebony, 6B, 2B, HB, and I have a 2H right here. So that's a nice variety, and as I'm going to start my shading, I want to look and see where I have the darkest values. So like over here on the spoon, those are really dark. Back here on the fabric, I could start to do some shading over here. If I'm doing the darker values, I want to start off with the darker pencils, so that will be the ebony and the 6B. But when I do them, they are going to also be potentially a little grainy. So this is an ebony pencil here, and this is a 6B, and you can see that the ebony pencil is definitely a darker black, but it also shows the texture of the paper quite a bit. And then the 6B pencil it's a dark gray, but it's not quite as dark as the ebony, and it doesn't quite show as much of the texture of the paper. And if I switch up to a harder pencil, like your regular old school pencil, and I do this, the texture of the paper shows through even less. So as the pencil gets harder, it kind of mashes the tooth of the paper and gets into it a little bit more. So you can see that more texture of the paper showing through and less showing through. But what that also means is that you can use this harder pencil to push this pencil around and fill in those gaps. So here you can see I'm using a light pencil to make a dark pencil darker. So you can use that to your advantage, but it's also something to be careful of. If you're trying to smooth things out, just understand that means that they will also get darker. So if I am looking at this drawing or this photograph and I'm trying to create a nice dark value, so I did this on the spoon already. I started off with an ebony pencil and I built my way up, and then I did a 6B pencil, and then I did a harder pencil on here to create some smoother but dark values that I can really control the precision of as I work up to the lip or the edge of the glass. So if I have a dark area, let's say over here, I can start off with some ebony pencil. I'm going to turn this so I can get into this arch a little bit, and I'm rolling my pencil over because I'm using that bevel point. So now I have a detail edge and a shading edge. You can see I keep changing pencil directions. I'm building up layers. I'm not just going over this once. I'm going over this. That's already like my third time maybe going over this area, and then I can start to use less pressure. Work my way out from there, and then I'll switch over. Let's switch over to 6B, and again the beveled edge there, and start to layer that softly in. On here I realized that I have a little glaring highlight on there, so I drew a pencil line around it to kind of visually protect it, and then I'm shading back in around the outside of that highlight. In terms of blending and smudging, the only times I might really do that are if I'm trying to really clean up an edge here and I want to kind of drag that edge there and really smooth it out, or if I want to take some of the graphite, and be careful of doing this because it's going to make it darker. If I want to take some of the graphite from here, I can use that to really gently go in and create some beautiful high values that are really soft, and it's easy to kind of draw. There we go. I can also draw with that, but it's also okay to go in with your 2H and do some light layering. Of some high values there. And you can see that's a much smoother surface and that's grainier. And it's okay to have the tooth of the paper show through, but if you don't want it to, you can go over it with a 2H, but it will also make it a little darker. So keep that in mind if you are reworking the surface and smudging things.